Hey, welcome back. It is a Money Monday indeed. No, we're not just talking about the Dow Jones and them old traditional stocks, but they're doing good today, above 27,000. We're talking about the new economy. We're the only show on national television that talks about cryptocurrency and the new economy and blockchain entrepreneurship every single day. That's why we call it Liquid Lunch. It's not just about a few drinks. We're talking about liquid markets. We're talking about liquidity. And the place where you can always find some liquidity is in Bitcoin. What's happening in the Bitcoin world, the epicenter right now is down at the Cosmopolitan Hotel in Vegas. Carol Chris is joining me again here in studio. And down in Vegas, my good friend, the crypto cowboy himself, Drew Taylor, is there with Ben Semshi and David Schwartz, who is the founder of the Litecoin Foundation. Guys, thanks for joining us for some more Liquid Lunch. Tell us what's happening down there. There's so much going on.
Absolutely, John and Carol, good to meet you. And obviously, here's David Schwartz. And David, you're the president of the Litecoin Foundation.
Sure.
So,
President, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Project director.
Project director. Okay.
President sounds good too.
So let me tell you something. I want to congratulate you guys on really a really kick-ass event.
Oh,
and you guys, you always do it right when you do it. Tell us a little bit about, what you're the most excited about going on here. Obviously, we've got Ron Paul coming in a few minutes.
Yeah. So I would say the fact that the community responded by coming to this event. It's completely packed. It was everything we were hoping for, and honestly, the speakers are great. Ron Paul's speaking right now, and then you have Caitlin Long and others. Pompliano's coming on later. So it's been a really, really good day so far.
Now, David, for my redneck buddies out there, tell them what the mission of the Litecoin Foundation is.
Yeah, so we really just want to try and promote the use, the adoption, the awareness, and the education of cryptocurrencies in general, and Litecoin as a means of exchange between people and businesses.
Absolutely. Now, let me tell you something. And John, Carol, you folks will love this stuff, but you talk about Litecoin ambassadors. They're everywhere.
They're not ambassadors. They're evangelists.
Yeah, they are.
It's like Brother Love's traveling salvation show out here today. It's Litecoin salvation.
It is. But one of the things that we see, and I just walked into the presentation hall, you probably have 250, 300 seats in there. Every seat is full.
Yeah, so we did it for 350, but there's about 500 total in there. So there's people standing around the entire rim of it. So
yeah, and folks, John, I will tell you that having been to a number of conferences, Brent and I've traveled for the last 2 years almost nonstop at conferences, and you see big empty rooms, and a lot of times where there's more speakers than there are attendees. Yeah. And I have to tell you, I think it's the quality of this event, who you guys are, and the things you're doing. But I think also, John, as you mentioned, man, cryptocurrencies are up. Everybody's looking at Bitcoin. It almost hit 10,000 again yesterday. I tell you what, the energy in the air here is amazing.
Well, and Litecoin is kind of the silver to Bitcoin's gold.
Yep.
And it's the silver that people are trading with. And when you look at a lot of these booths around here, these are people that are doing real business, and they're using Litecoin as their method of payment.
Yeah, they're viable businesses that are accepting it as a means of exchange for their services, which is perfect. So.
Absolutely. And John, we've talked about this before, but, the evangelizing that's going on here. When Small Business America, when Maria's Taco Shop, who does $500,000 a year in sales, 80% of that through credit card swipes at a cost of 2 to 4%, when they realize they can take Litecoin, there's no chargebacks. They get their money immediately, and the transaction cost is what?
Oh, it's so minimal, you almost don't notice it. A year and a half ago, they had someone send $99 million worth of Litecoin from one wallet to another for a transaction. Cost them 40 cents.
Hey, John, if you get $99 million you want to send me, buddy, it'll only cost you 40 cents.
All right, well, send it in. Send it in. We'll take the $99 million. I'll pay you 80 cents. I'll double the fee. Don't worry about it.
Absolutely.
Well,
Hey, I want to thank you. Go ahead, brother.
What I was going to say is, and so you wonder why the banks are scared about cryptocurrency, because once all of this takes place, John, you've sent that kind of money around on other transactions, and you can't do it that quick, and you can't do it that cheap, no matter what they try to do.
Well, I don't have the money like you and my crypto cowboy friend have down there, but I've done some big transactions. But guys, Carol and I are just sitting here listening, and it sounds like there's a great buzz down there. I know you're waiting for Ron Paul to come by and give us a few minutes. In the meantime, is there anything going on with Litecoin that David can share with us that's new and exciting that's come out over this weekend?
We just changed the downloadable app wallet for Litecoin, specifically the native wallet. So we did a whole rebrand and changed that over. But I think the biggest, most exciting thing is we're trying to make Litecoin just as fungible as a regular dollar bill would be, which means to be able to interact between two people, to exchange it without someone else having to need to know how much was sent from one person to another, which is a big deal, because if I were to give you a dollar bill, nobody else really needs to know that, right?
Yeah.
We do legitimate business, but at this point, cryptocurrencies still need that one piece of fungibility that's left, and that's what we're working on. So that's probably the most exciting thing, and that's going to get talked on, I believe, later on today, actually. So
There's been a lot of talk out there, especially in America here, about on-ramps and off-ramps. And it seems like for new adopters, the difficult part is opening an account. And just they ask you for so much information and take a picture with your passport and yesterday's newspaper and all this other stuff. Does Litecoin offer any simplicity in onboarding people that we don't know about?
yeah, I would say the currency is sort of at the mercy of the exchanges and those on-ramps and off-ramps that you're talking about. So with KYC and AML being quite an issue, the currency itself is handled by whoever's handling it. So if they have a KYC implementation, there's really not much you can do about that. But there are fixes out there, people that are working on things to where that's not necessarily something that has to happen. So you'll probably see more and more of those pop up because, frankly, a lot of people aren't really excited about the whole KYC thing. So.
Right. I mean, one of the libertarian reasons that people like Bitcoin was that it gave you another layer of anonymity, and then when you have to go through this know your customer and anti-money laundering stuff, it kind of takes the shine off of it a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, yes.
So, hey, Drew, you were going to ask something.
Brent?
Oh, no, I was just going to acknowledge that the KYCs know your customer and anti-money laundering. Just for the folks out there that may not know the acronyms. John, I'm always looking after my redneck buddies out there.
I see that. I see Drew would be nothing without you.
I feel like that every day.
Carol, I know your team is involved with some of the real innovators in the space, like Brock Pierce and others, and it was like really bright and shiny a few years ago. But I think now people are kind of putting their nose to the grindstone and really saying, hey, these are the ones that could work, and putting some work into it, which is what we need now, right? Education, awareness.
I think before it was more of this sort of idealistic concept born out of the tech community, Silicon Valley, the global techie geniuses that I certainly am not. But it's now meeting mainstream simply because it must, it's time. And the bottom line at the end of the day is, it's even the issue of banking the unbankable.
Right.
People who barely even have like an ID, like people who live in extreme poverty around the world that cannot participate in the global markets in any significant way. And that number's in the billions globally. So I think finally having a seat at the table, but how people come in and present sort of public sector, private sector coming together. In many cases, it's a communication and presentation matter. And we have to just proceed in a gentle fashion, as you said.
It's a slow adoption and it's a careful adoption.
Take it easy,
Hey, Drew and Brett, you guys, David Schwartz, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to check back with you a little later on. Drew, if you catch up with Ron Paul, just let us know, and we'll beam you right back in, Scotty.
You got it. You got it. He will be out here in just a few minutes. I heard him clapping, so he's close.
Okay, good.
Go ahead, David. One more thing.
I saw the episode where he gave you a hat, right? So I want to, next time if I ever see you, I want to give you a cheese hat because I'm from Wisconsin, so I'll get you one of those blocks. And you can wear that on set too then, all right?
If I have to do it, it's going to cost you $99 million Litecoin. $99 million. Thanks a lot, guys. Really appreciate it. We'll check back in Vegas in a little bit. Carol Christ is with me. We're talking about all the great things that are happening in the new economy of cryptocurrency. We're going to take a quick break. Come back at you right after this.